This is Rif Nedarim, Daf Beis Daf Daled. You can view it at alfasi.blogspot.com. We'll start with Daf Beis Amid Aleph with the Mishnah. Kol Kinuya Nedarim K'Nedarim L'Charam K'Charam Nushros K'Shros Naziros K'Naziros. This is various ways of making things prohibited to you. And we're saying that not only the neder, not only the vow said explicitly is considered a vow, but also a nickname or a substitute for it is also like it. And the same for a cherem or a shvua or declaring yourself a nazir. So then the Mishnah proceeds with what seems to be an elaboration of the previous introduction. It says, Ha'omer l'chavero, if somebody says to his friend, Mudu ani mimcha, I'm debarred from you by a vow, Mufresh ani mimcha, I'm separated from you, Meruchak ani mimcha, I'm distanced from you, Shani ochel lacha, Shani tom lacha, that I should eat with you, or that I should taste of yours, then asur, it's prohibited. And various other girsos seem to have, instead of shani, she'eni, with the yud, which means that I will not, but this is, the girsa here is she'ani. So that was the Mishnah. Except the Mishnah continues a little bit more. It continues, if we say menuda ani lecha, if I am menuda, and we have to see what exactly the implication of menuda is, but it's some kind of almost I am banned from you. Rabbi Akiva hayachochech bezel hachmir. He was leaning in this towards restricting. Okay, so that's the Mishnah. And the issue with this is that it seems to be a little bit difficult, because the Gemara asks and answers and concludes what the meaning of the Mishnah. Shaklin v'terina v'askinan v'asnisin hachi pebusha. This is the meaning of the Mishnah. Kol kinuyei nedarim k'nedarim. All nicknames or substitutes for vows are like vows. And then this is not something that's actually said in the Mishnah, but it's as if it said it. V'yados nedarim k'nedarim. And handles for vows are like vows. V'elu hein yados. And here are the handles of nedarim. Ha'omer l'chaveru mudmani mimcha, etc. So all of the things that we see, all of the examples that we see in this Mishnah that we just stated, is actually examples of yados, not examples of kinuyim. And then later on it'll continue ve'elu hein kinuyim, and these are the nicknames, konaim, konach, konas, where it's kind of a nickname for accepting upon yourself a vow. So that's how we resolve that Mishnah. Okay, so on to Nedarim, Daf Gimel Amid Aleph. So we talked about the fact that we have these kinuyim and we have these yados. So the question is, v'yados heichan ksivan, where are these yados, where are these handles written? What's the basis for it? And the answer is dechsiv, because it says in the Torah, in Bamidbar, Perek Vav, Pasuk Beis. That's actually, we'll scroll down so we'll see it over here. It says, Daber el b'nei Yisrael, speak to the children of Israel, v'amarta alehem, and say to them, Ish o isha, a man or a woman, ki afli lindor neder nazir lahazir lahashem. So, it's all going to be based on these words, Lindor neder nazir lahazir. So, continues the Gemara. Dechsiv ki afli lindor neder nazir lahazir lahashem. La'asos yados naziros k'naziros. V'chinuyei naziros k'naziros. So, ein li ela ben nazir. So, it's because you have Lindor neder, it says nazir lahazir lahashem. So I guess the duplication is including other examples, other ways of accepting the nazirus. But this will only tell me by a Nazir, but what about by Nedarim, by vows in general? So Talmud Lamar, therefore the Pasuk informs us, it says, Neder Nazir Lahazir. Right? And during Neder Nazir Lahazir. And Makish Nedarim L'Naziros, and Naziros L'Nedarim. It makes a connection between vows and accepting Nazirite status upon yourself, and in both directions. So how so? Continues the Gemara. Ma Naziros asaya dos Naziros k'Naziros. Just like by Nazir we made these handles for Nazir, like accepting Nazir itself. Af Nedarim, also by Neder asaya dos Nedarim k'Nedarim. And now in the opposite direction, Uma Nedarim, and just like vows, over yachel uval ta'acher, af naziros over beval yachel uval ta'acher. Now, what is this bal yachel uval ta'acher? So here's the pasuk in Bamidbar Bamidbar Perek Lamed pasuk Gimel. It says, Ishki dor neder l'Hashem, o hishava shivua l'asor yisrael nafsho, lo yachel dvaro, he shouldn't break his word. K'chol hayotzei mipiv yaseh. So we said this by Nedarim, and so since there's this connection to Nazir, you could also violate that by Nazir. And the other pasuk is by Devarim, Devarim daf chaf gimel, pasuk Chaf Beis. It says, Ki sidor neder l'Hashem elokecha, lo sa'acher l'shalmo, you shouldn't delay in fulfilling it. Ki deresh yidishenu Hashem elokecha me'imach v'yavacha chet. So this is not true only by neder, but also by Nazir. Okay, so continuing on, so we have this connection both ways. And then we continue. Ma Nedarim ha'av mefer nidrei bito val mefer nidrei ishto, that the husband and the father can nullify the vows of their wife and their daughter, respectively. So af naziros av mefer naziros bito val mefer naziros ishto. So they have the similar right of nullifying. Naziros, not just a neder. Okay, so now on to Daf Dalid. Ha'omer l'chavero mudrani mimcha. This is a citation from the Mishnah. If somebody says, "I am barred from you by a vow," or "I'm," etc., all of those various yados that it continues. So Amar Shmuel says, by all of them, ad sheyomar, until he says, shani ochel lecha, shani ta'am lecha. So this is an interesting thing. If we look at the actual text of the Mishnah, let's go up over here. So here we go. The actual text of the Mishnah is Ha'omer l'chavero mudur ani mimcha, mufresh ani mimcha, meruchak ani mimcha, she'ani ochel lecha, she'ani ta'am lecha, asur. So you could put semicolons in between each of them, and so mudur ani mimcha is separate, and mufresh ani mimcha is separate, and meruchak ani mimcha is separate, and she'ani ochel lach could also be separate, and she'ani ta'am lach it could also be separate. But what he's saying here is that we're joining the end part of the Mishnah, Shani ochel lecha and Shani ta'am lecha, to each of the first parts of the Mishnah of Mudur ani mimcha, Mufresh ani mimcha, Meruchak ani mimcha. So they combine together. So that's Shmuel's reading of the Mishnah. At least that's the way I would claim it. How that Shmuel is explaining how we read the Mishnah. Aval Amar Mudur ani mimcha. But if he only says mudrani mimcha, so that by itself is lo mashmei surachila. That doesn't give the connotation of a prohibition on eating. So the Gemara elaborates on this. My taima, because mudrani mimcha that I'm banned from you, could imply delo mishta'ina bahadach kamar. He's saying that I won't speak with you. And mufreshani mimcha, that I'm separated from you, doesn't have to mean from eating or from tasting. It's delo avidna bahadach maso matan mashma. It has the implication of I'm not going to conduct business with you. And muchkani mimcha, the implication of that is delo ka'imna b'dalal amas tilach mashma. It could have the implication of that I will not stand in your 4 cubits, in your 4 amos, and that's why you're distancing yourself. So until it's entirely clear, that's not considered a yad. So now we're going to continue on the next daf. L'meimer d'savar Shmuel yadayim she'ein mochichos lo havyon yadayim. This implies that Shmuel holds that handles which aren't explicit and aren't entirely clear are not considered yadayim, aren't considered handles. So then we can continue in, indeed, Savar Lei, that Shmuel does hold this, but that's going to be for the next daf.